if you want a plan for the future, we can help your dreams come true. A degree that gets you the right job. It's affordable and easy for you. It's Montauk Community College. Friendly people that know who you are. It's Montauk Community College. A college so close that can take you so far.
Welcome to Asnuntuck's Changing Lives. I am Michelle Coach, Interim Dean of Academic Affairs at Asnuntuck Community College, and I am here with three guests. They are three esteemed members of our Phi Theta Kappa chapter at the college. I'm going to introduce you here. We have Victoria Orifice, we have Taylor Woronecki, and Alica Mollison. So Victoria, tell us a little bit about yourself, what your role is, and what you're studying at Asnuntuck.
Absolutely. I am the regional, New England Regional Vice President of Phi Theta Kappa, which is an amazing, fantastic thing that I get to do. For our actual chapter, I am the Vice President of Communications and also the Secretary, so I do a lot of like the record keeping, but also I've been really spearheading the Honors in Action project this year, which has been absolutely amazing. I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later. At Asnuntuck, I am actually kind of a double major. I started as a liberal arts major, but I have since completed that degree and I'm still going for communications at the moment, which has offered me so many amazing opportunities, such as being an intern at iHeartRadio in Hartford, which has been fantastic.
That is great to hear. Taylor, what is your position over at in our Phi Theta Kappa chapter, and what are you studying?
Well, I mean, I'm not an officer or anything, but I do just pitch in with, a little bit of here and there with the Honors in Action, the college project, and I'm just studying for liberal arts right now, and I'm actually going to be graduating this year, hopefully.
Excellent, congratulations. And Alica, you've served in a couple different roles at our Phi Theta Kappa chapter. What are you studying, and what is your current role?
So I am currently the Vice President of Scholarship. I was previously the president of our chapter.
Excellent.
And I graduated with my associates in the spring with my early childhood ed degree. And I am now currently going for my human services degree.
Excellent. So can you tell me a little bit about our Honor Society and what qualifies a student to join Phi Theta Kappa?
So to join the Honor Society, you have to have a 3.5 GPA and have taken at least 12 credits overall. We do 2 projects a year, and we'll get into those a little bit later on.
Excellent. And Taylor, since you're one of our newest members for Phi Theta Kappa, how were you presented the opportunity for membership?
I actually, first semester here, after that was all done, I actually got an invite in the mail, and a professor gave it to me, and I was really excited because I remember when I was taking a tour, before I even started going here, I saw everything about Phi Theta Kappa on the hallway,
Yes.
on the hallway, and I said, oh, that's so cool. And then finally I got, invited, and I got inducted this past November, and it's just really exciting.
Awesome. Victoria, you have taken a role that's beyond just Asnuntuck Community College. So how has your position as the New England Regional President had a chance to impact your life?
It has impacted my life in so many ways. I've been able to meet so many incredible people from all over the country.
Excellent.
There's different international events that we're able to go to, such as Honors Institute, where as a regional officer, we're able to meet with other regional officers from around the country. I have a Facebook group going
Excellent.
with people from New Mexico and California and Virginia and Texas, and we all keep in touch and are able to trade information about our Honors in Action projects and what we're working on. And just as people, networking wise, it has afforded me the ability to enhance my public speaking skills through speaking at our regional conventions and learning how to run a regional convention, which has been an absolutely amazing experience for me overall.
Wonderful. How many states are involved in the New England region?
So there are 6 states involved in the New England region. We have Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island.
Excellent.
And within those 6 states, there are 55 chapters.
Wow. So you've been able to reach out and contact all of these chapters in New England.
Absolutely. It's been phenomenal getting to know all of these people throughout our region.
Excellent. Taylor, I heard you've been involved in many projects this year. So what is one that you've actually had a real good interaction with your fellow members?
I think the one I've had the most interaction with is definitely the Honors in Action project. It's a really interesting one. It's about misinformation in the media and powers of connection, and we're basically just kind of trying to research how fake news in the media kind of affects how people communicate in the world. And it's so awesome, and it's my favorite one. And the other one we're working on is the college project, the one that the administration gave us. And we recently had a meeting with them, and we talked about giving an alumni hall of fame, and I'm excited for that one as well.
Excellent. So what is this, Alicia, the college project? What's involved in that process?
So to be involved with the college project, we set up meetings with the deans and the president of the college, and we get their input of what they want to see change within the campus community. So we ended up scheduling a meeting, and he was really for the alumni getting engaged in the college. We are a community college, so we understand that the students will transfer on, but we really want to continue to see them succeed in their future endeavors and see what they do outside of SNUNTUC.
Excellent. And Victoria, Taylor had mentioned the Honors in Action project. Could you expand a little bit, because I think this is one of your passions
Oh,
here.
absolutely. So the Honors in Action project overall is from the full-on Phi Theta Kappa perspective. We have an honors study topic every year. It's every 2 years, but this biannual topic is transformations, acknowledging, assessing, and achieving change. So they basically send out this program guide that offers 9 different themes. There's networks of life, visions of justice, and the one that we chose, Taylor mentioned, is powers of connection.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So you do a bunch of research guided by the topic of transformations through your theme, and identify a problem that's going on in your community. So one that our chapter realized was fake news, misinformation, and how it's affecting the way that we communicate as a group. So
Excellent.
So in order to really pursue that, we did tons of research into how fake news influences people, and then we had an event where we discussed a very controversial topic. The topic that we chose was gun control.
Very controversial.
It was very controversial.
Yes.
So we recorded a conversation, basically it took about half an hour, of a bunch of different people who had different perspectives on the issue of gun control. There were people who were pro increasing gun control laws, and then there were people who were like, okay, we're kind of my Second Amendment rights are very important to me. We recorded it, made sure that they used specific examples while they were discussing it, and we've been fact checking those examples, and there's some very interesting findings about how certain news events that may have been miscommunicated to them influenced their perspective. It's very fascinating.
That must be very fascinating.
Yes.
So you're taking this information, putting it together, and finding out how many fallacies you're finding? Or?
Yes, and so there's things that were misinterpreted versus there's an instance in Orlando, Florida in 1966 where there was some statistics that were a little skewed from what the person who brought up the incident believed. When we looked it up, what he said was there was something that happened in Orlando in 1966, but it wasn't what he thought it was. And it was his foundation for his opinion on the situation. So it was very interesting to find that he was like, this is why I'm pro-gun, and he was wrong about it.
Wow, so interesting how the
yes.
misinterpretation of news will shape how you feel about concepts.
Exactly, and how you'll communicate how you feel about concepts to other people who disagree with you on the subject. It was very fascinating, and we transcribed this whole conversation. So we've been going through and identifying not only where misinformation tied in, but which argumentative tactics were used in the process of communicating that information.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. And what are you going to do, Alicia, with the results of what you have brought together?
So we are going to put together a graph of the fallacies and the truths of what the people have told us.
Excellent. And will this come to a culmination in a project of some sort or a written document that people can view?
Yes, absolutely. We've been working on putting together a pamphlet of some sort to issue to people. We've also been talking about it in situations such as this. And we have a Phi Theta Kappa podcast that our chapter has been running, PTK After Hours, available on SoundCloud.
Oh, excellent. How can we find how to get to this, this podcast?
We have that podcast information. We have a Twitter page at PTK After Hours, and Instagram also at PTK After Hours, and SoundCloud.com/PTK After Hours.
Fabulous.
So we've been talking
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, we've been talking a lot about this project on that podcast, and it's been, especially as it's been unfolding. So it's been very cool.
Very cool that you're using communication tools in order to share how this news has
Yeah,
been.
and it's been so fun to start this podcast. Like, I forgot, it was one of the long days we had working on the projects together that we decided to start a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's just been an amazing experience doing it. It's brought us closer together, and everyone else who's stumbled in and joined.
Yeah.
And it's,
So this makes me think of one of those hallmarks, getting together, getting to know each other. What would that be?
Could it be fellowship you're talking
I
about?
think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we have four hallmarks for Phi Theta
Yes.
Kappa. Fellowship being one. What is another one? Anybody remember?
membership.
Membership,
Nope.
Service.
service,
Scholarship,
scholarship, and leadership.
leadership.
forget
Can't forget that
leadership,
one.
right?
No. definitely not.
Excellent. So once we put this together, is there something that these write-ups are put into potentially? I think we might have a
Could
prop
you be
here
talking
that
about Civic Scholar, the undergraduate journal for Phi Theta Kappa, which is the first ever journal of undergraduate research for a 2-year college. It's amazing. And guess who's published in it?
who?
We are.
That's awesome.
We are published in it.
So what did you have? What did you do that brought you to be published in a academic journal?
So our Honors in Action project last year, we were searching into the natural and the engineered was our theme for that year. And we looked into GMOs. We looked into the safety around GMOs and whether the anti-GMO people, where they're coming from with that. And we found that when it comes to the actual research into their safety, most of the things that said they are safe were sponsored by Monsanto and other companies that make money off of GMO products. So based on that and based on the discovery that there haven't been many long-term studies and situations with food insecurity on campus, we made an effort to get a greenhouse on campus that would then grow only non-GMO vegetables and have that as a constant source. While we were unfortunately unsuccessful in getting the greenhouse actually on campus, the journey that we went through to try and all the research that we did afforded us an amazing project that helped us grow as leaders, as individuals, and our write-up really reflected that. And I guess Phi Theta Kappa, the people scoring it, noticed.
That's
so
amazing.
we were one of the top 15 scoring projects and themes in the entire Phi Theta Kappa organization.
That's pretty amazing. How many chapters are there total?
About 1,500. So again, our little is Nantuck Enfield. We were one of the top 15 out of so many different chapters. And we got recognized at our international convention in Kansas City, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
And I think that relates
Yeah,
over to what is in front of Alicia.
So yes, we got the Most Distinguished Chapter Hallmark Award, which is for the college project and the college project. We got first in the Honors in Action, as Victoria mentioned. That was on our GMOs.
Yeah, that was specifically for our region. We ranked highest on the Honors in Action project for our region, and then we were in the top, I believe, 35 in the international. Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing. So you have two. One of them is, they both say distinguished chapter.
This is the Most Distinguished Chapter, and for last year, and then we also had the Distinguished Chapter for last year.
Excellent. So we have a regional and an international award,
Correct.
which is pretty amazing.
Right.
What's in front of you, Taylor?
This is a stole, and you are given it when you get inducted, and then you wear it on your graduation to show what you've accomplished. And
Excellent. So when did you receive that?
I received it on my induction day back in November, and now it's hanging in my room, and it's just a constant reminder of how well I've done these past couple years at Nantucket, and it's something to be proud of, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Something definitely to be proud of. I know the faculty members and the administration, we love looking out there at the graduation scene of all the graduates, and we see those yellow stoles, and we know we have some high achieving students here at Nantucket Community College. It's pretty amazing. So, when are the inductions during our semester?
Well, there's one in the fall, which is in November, and the other one is in the springtime, which is usually sometime in April.
Excellent. When should students expect invitations, typically? Would they be right after the semester start?
Yeah, usually it's about halfway through the semester that they go out.
Excellent. So they end up getting their invitations. We reach out to the students. As officers in our chapter, do you do any communication with the students?
Yes, so we get an email list of all the people who qualify for Phi Theta Kappa. So again, about like towards the start of the semester, and at that point we are able to email them. We can go up to them directly if we happen to know who they
Excellent.
are. I believe this past year we went to different classes to introduce that, you know, be like, hey, you know, you joined
encourage
PTK.
them.
Yeah, so we can ask also professors to go to mention it. Like, we can give the professors their letter and have them invite them personally, which is always
excellent.
a nice personal touch.
That is wonderful. And once inducted, Alicia, what do the students have to do to be involved? Do they have to attend meetings, or can they just become a member?
They can just become a member. If they really want to get all the full benefits of what Phi Theta Kappa offers, they would like to come to the meetings Wednesdays at 3:30, and they get the benefits of scholarships, networking, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and just a family-like atmosphere.
Excellent. So you have a solid group of students that get together, researching projects, working with administration. It sounds like an amazing time, and I feel honored to be one of your advisors.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. So Victoria, what is the focus for our region, the New England region, this year?
Yeah, so it's fellowship, you know, getting all the chapters engaged as much as we possibly can, getting any chapters that haven't submitted what they needed to up to a 1-star, and getting the ones that have been working so hard all the way up to a 5-star.
Excellent.
And what that involves is doing the Honors in Action project, having the experience of the college project, and really, you know, coming to our regional conferences, which are such a great networking opportunity. Like Alicia was saying, you know, you get to meet people from all over your region and like you otherwise would never have met, and it's a phenomenal experience.
That sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah. We also are trying to get more people involved in the regional officer elections, because
Excellent.
I'm very sad to say that I ran unopposed.
Oh, yes.
But like, which really is, when there's so many different opportunities available to regional officers, it's sad that they aren't being taken. So we're really trying to promote being a regional officer to as many
Excellent.
people as possible.
Are you doing or is the group doing something that will help encourage the running of the regional officers?
Yeah, I've mostly been contacting people individually, like different chapter officers and different chapter advisors, to really be like, hey, you know, there's all of these things that we can do. Like, you and I went over to Capitol the other day to promote
Absolutely.
all the different benefits of being active on a regional level. So
That's pretty
that was
amazing. Alicia, so you're the vice president of scholarship.
Yes.
What is your responsibility as that position?
So I am in charge of getting the chapter members and officers to know about the scholarships that Phi Theta Kappa offers. And there are specific schools that will offer a specific Phi Theta Kappa scholarship just for being a member. These can go from $500 to $15,000.
Amazing.
Yeah, so so I try to make a list and compile the list of schools that will offer these scholarships to the students and bring them back to the chapter.
And how have these colleges been involved? Have they come to your chapter? Are they at the campus on certain days?
So we have at Nantucket Transfer Tuesdays,
Awesome.
which is like Elms College and from Mass comes, and other local colleges come and they promote themselves at a table in our tower lobby. And then we also have a college fair at the regional and international conventions.
Excellent. And what have you seen at those regional conventions for those college fairs? Has there been a lot of colleges available?
There has been a lot of colleges there, and they bid for you. They want you because they know you are top of the top of the class. Like, they know you're a hard worker. If you have that 3.5 to even join, they know you're a hard worker.
Yes, I believe we're in the 90 percentile for completion once you transfer to a four-year institution.
Right.
So Phi Theta Kappa students are the best of the best, and it's a wonderful thing. Speaking of scholarships, Alicia, you've been involved in getting the scholarships, but I think, Victoria, you've received a scholarship, right?
I did. The Coca-Cola academic team, which is when you're submitting your application to the Phi Theta Kappa Scholarship Program, one of the ones that you're generally qualified for is the Coca-Cola academic team in the All-USA academic team. I was a Coca-Cola Silver Scholar, so I had a scholarship of $1,250. And that's 1,250, not 1,250. Anyway, and I was also a part of the Connecticut All Academic Team, which was very, very cool. I have two very shiny medals at home.
Excellent. So a little bit of bling for
graduation.
graduation.
A little bit of bling in addition to the money that's really helped me so much with being able to continue pursuing my education.
Yes, and you don't even need to be a Phi Theta Kappa student to be the All Connecticut Academic Team.
Yeah.
So annually, the students are nominated. We are allowed to nominate 2 workforce students and 2 transfer students. And as long as they have reached that 3.5 and they have completed 36 credits, they have the chance to get this scholarship just like you did.
Yeah, and it's fantastic.
And there's other scholarships that are available on top of just the silver, the bronze, and the gold.
Yeah, like there's also the New Century.
So there's scholarships left and right when it comes to a Phi Theta Kappa membership, or just succeeding in college.
Yes.
Which is pretty amazing. So we have a conference coming up, I think. Does somebody want to explain what's our next conference that we'll be having in the New England region?
Our next conference is March 22nd and 23rd right here at Nantucket Community College.
Excellent.
And this is going to be such a great conference because our focus is on mental health first aid.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yes, especially like there's so many students who are struggling who are going to community college. You know, it's really where community college helps lift people up in such, a great way, especially students who are struggling. So having a program specifically to help us lift those students up even more is just going to be amazing.
Yes, and I believe our speaker this year, he's going to be our keynote speaker at our banquet at night, and he's going to talk about how do we work with others if they're in crisis, or how do we handle ourselves in crisis?
Exactly.
And a little birdie told me that we may be getting a copy of his book for each of the attendees at the conference. So
that'd be awesome.
It will be pretty amazing to have that resource available.
Very cool.
Yes, and hopefully we can invite additional people from the Nantucket community. And I think we're going to have a welcome from our college president, and potentially one of the president of our Board of Regents has been invited. So this will be a pretty amazing opportunity. Plus, hopefully, we may be seeing another 1 or 2 of those trophies coming.
Hopefully.
We will hopefully see.
That's what we're working on right now.
Excellent. Yes, fingers crossed. So if each of you could tell me what is your most interesting and engaging part that you have found in Phi Theta Kappa. Let's start with you, Victoria.
I mean, I've had so many opportunities through Phi Theta Kappa, but I think my absolute favorite moment was when I went to Honors Institute. That they took us to Philadelphia. We dormed at Villanova for a week, and were put in separate seminar groups with people that we'd never have otherwise met from all over the country. And it was such an amazing opportunity to work so closely with these people for so many hours, and just making all of these amazing connections with other students just like me throughout the entire country. The whole experience of Honors Institute, anyone who gets the opportunity to go absolutely should. It was life-changing.
Excellent. And you got the chance to actually investigate Philadelphia, correct?
Yes. There's a day called City as Text where we basically take a tour of a historical city that we have been stationed near.
Excellent.
And learn all about it by being there. Like we got to go to the Liberty Bell, we went to the U.S. Mint, we found Alexander Hamilton's house, which was very cool.
That's really cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah. Fabulous. Taylor, what has been your most interesting and engaging part of this whole process?
Well, I haven't gone anywhere interesting yet.
Yet. And where will you be going next?
I will be most likely be going to Orlando, Florida for Spring Catalyst, and I'm so excited for that.
Yes.
But I think so far, my most interesting experience being in Phi Theta Kappa was actually our service event that we went to a couple weeks ago, like I think last week actually. Yeah. We volunteered at the Trolley Museum and I can't even.
East Windsor.
Yeah, East. We went to East Windsor.
Excellent. So service, one of the main hallmarks.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I dressed up like an elf, and I was
wonderful.
Santa's little helper, and it was just such a good time seeing all these kids get so happy, and they believed I was actually from the North Pole,
Oh, very cool.
and it was amazing. It was so cute.
Excellent. And Alicia, what is your most interesting and engaging part of this?
There are so many, like Victoria said, but I have to say just being a part of this family-like atmosphere and being able to network with all different types of people that are at these annual conventions and these regional conventions, as well as Honors Institute. You think you would never meet anybody like you, and then you go to these places and you see a whole bunch of people that have the same interests, have the same mindset of being a Phi Theta Kappa member, and you get to share that experience with them.
That's awesome. So Catalyst, that sounds like it's one of the next events for our Phi Theta Kappa chapter after the regional. What's going to happen at that event?
So Catalyst is a very interesting conference. Because at least my experience with it was that I went to the Kansas City one, which is also our 100th anniversary.
Oh, that's, yeah.
So it was wild. What that involves is our international officers put on this amazing conference. They give speeches at our general sessions, and we have amazing speakers. Like I know last time we had Amy Cuddy, who is this fantastic psychologist.
Excellent.
There was
We had Platon, I believe, in the past.
Yes.
John Legend
John
has
Legend was
played.
there once, so that was absolutely phenomenal. We also had David Diggs this time. He had like a nice little interview. It was very interesting. And so there's book signings with these authors who came to speak. There's ed forums with people from Phi Theta Kappa headquarters.
Excellent.
Who are like, I went to an amazing one on building great teams that was just completely blew my mind in terms of how to structure a team in the best way to set us up for the most success possible.
That's wonderful.
It
So
was-
valuable lessons and valuable forums that you can take home and learn from.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And then after all of the work and like the education part is done, there was like a party. Like,
Oh, yes, the 100th
yeah,
anniversary. So
no, with music and food, and it was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this year we're going to Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida.
So that will be an amazing, it's the 101 anniversary for this time, and I think they're trying to bring some additional programming and some amazing speakers.
That'll be great.
And recently released the next Honors Institute. You talked about Philadelphia, but I believe the next one is going to be in San Diego, California.
Gotta be amazing.
Yes. And Alicia, you went to a Honors Institute in the past.
Yeah, I went to Chicago, Illinois, to learn about Chicago and the city and listen to amazing keynote speakers.
Excellent. So what do you think is the most valuable thing that you could take from Honors Institute?
It has to be the people. I mean, we did have actually like a leadership certification program. Like that was phenomenal, amazing. It's taught me so much, but I keep going back to the people that I met. It just taught me so much about life, about like, there's this one moment when I was in Honors Institute where I had first met my seminar group. We didn't know each other's names, but like there was a girl from like Virginia and a girl from Alabama who were just like, are those fireflies? Like there were people who hadn't seen fireflies before, and like they got the experience of being pulled up into New England to experience New England for the first time.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and the leadership stuff was amazing. That, by the way, it really helped me identify like who I am as a leader, who I am as a person, even outside of like regular chapter activities. But the people that I met, I think, were what really made the difference with that.
That's pretty amazing. You three are leaders on our campus. And I want to thank you for joining us today. And thank you for watching Changing Lives.
If you want a plan for the future, we can help your dreams come true. A degree that gets you the right job. It's affordable and easy for you. It's Nantucket Community College. Friendly people that know who you are. It's Nantucket Community College. A college so close that can take you so far.